Hello, and welcome to Shrink, the podcast for the mind. I'm Philippe, and I talk to the people who want to have a better understanding of their issues with weight and body image. I want to talk about the topic of body dissatisfaction in this episode. It's something I've been dealing with myself for quite many years when I was very overweight. And then it's something I've helped a lot of clients getting rid of. I know that some of my friends are as well dissatisfied with their body, and it has a big impact on their health and well-being. And despite what some people may think, it's not something to take lightly. It can have huge repercussions. Body dissatisfaction is characterized by negative perceptions and feelings towards your own body, and it's such a common issue in our modern society. We are relentlessly bombarded by idealized body images in the media. And then there is a societal pressure to conform to unrealistic beauty standards. So we are constantly exposed to factors that contribute to feelings of dissatisfaction or just being unhappy with our physical appearance. Millions of us are dealing with negative thoughts about their body image. And sometimes from the minute they wake up until they fall asleep at night, they think about it like hundreds of times a day. They feel like they are never good enough. They are too fat, too slim, too small, looking tired, old. They're unhappy with their skin, their hair, the size of their nose, their mouth. The list of dissatisfaction is endless. And of course, these dissatisfactions have massive consequences on our well-being. This episode is more specifically about body dissatisfaction and not body dysmorphia. So let me quickly explain the difference between the two, in fact. Body dysmorphia involves a distorted perception of one's appearance, whereas body dissatisfaction refers to a general dissatisfaction with one's body, but without necessarily having a distorted perception. So when you're dealing with body dissatisfaction, you may have a realistic image of your body and just hate it, in a nutshell. But what are the main causes of body dissatisfaction? Well, I feel like the media play a significant role in shaping perceptions of beauty and contributing to body dissatisfaction. Images of thin, flawless models and celebrities are everywhere, in advertising, television, and on social media platforms as well, of course. It creates unrealistic standards that many people feel pressured to achieve. And then there are the societal norms and expectations regarding body size, body shape, and appearance, and it can also contribute to body dissatisfaction. Thinness is often associated with beauty, success, and merit, while when you have a larger body size, you are stigmatized and marginalized. Comments, comparisons, and criticism from the people around us and our family members can significantly impact our body image and contribute, of course, to feelings of dissatisfaction. Negative feedback regarding someone's appearance, whether it's intentional or unintentional, can fuel insecurity and self-doubt. But I'm also tempted to say that some positive feedback can trigger the same undesirable consequences. Most people who are dealing with body dissatisfaction, I'm struggling with this, feel uncomfortable when they are complimented about their appearance. They may feel like the person complimenting them just wants to be nice, to please them, or even like they don't know what they're talking about. Their standards of beauty are too low for you. They would somehow rather like to be ignored, or even invisible. Yeah, invisible. That would be easier for some of them. Over time, you may internalize societal beauty ideals and adopt them as your own standards of attractiveness. And this can lead to constant self-monitoring, comparison, and dissatisfaction with your appearance. And then, of course, there are the psychological factors, such as low self-esteem, perfectionism, and a tendency towards negative self-evaluation. And it can also predispose you to experience body dissatisfaction. These internalized beliefs and attitudes can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy and contribute to an endless cycle of dissatisfaction. I've just mentioned the causes of body dissatisfaction, but what are the consequences, in fact? Because one might not know. Well, there are psychological effects, of course. Body dissatisfaction is strongly associated with psychological issues like distress, including depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. You may experience negative emotions such as shame, guilt, and worthlessness, leading to reduced functioning in various areas of your life. Body dissatisfaction is also a significant risk factor for the development of eating disorders, such as anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder, for example. These disorders are characterized by disordered eating behaviors and distorted body image, and they have terrible physical and psychological consequences, as we know. And there is another consequence of body dissatisfaction. Some people may turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as restrictive dieting, excessive exercise, or even substance abuse, in an attempt to change or control their bodies. These behaviors can have harmful effects on your physical health and exacerbate feelings of dissatisfaction and distress. It's also quite common for body dissatisfaction to damage interpersonal relationships, as individuals may withdraw from social activities or avoid situations that expose their bodies to scrutiny. I know that I've had clients who would rather not go on holiday to the seaside, although they love swimming, they love being on the beach, but just the idea of showing their body to others, wearing a swimming suit or a bikini, and when I say to others, is sometimes to their partner, it's just unbearable. And if you're in a relationship with someone who's dealing with body dissatisfaction, you may find it impossible to find the right words to make them feel better. One of my clients was telling me, how can he love someone who looks as fat as I do? This client was something like 6 kilos overweight, and it turned out that her husband loved her as much before she lost the extra weight. But she wouldn't believe it. Someone with body dissatisfaction won't let you properly love them, as they reject parts of who they are, whatever you tell them. Another consequence of body dissatisfaction is that it can negatively impact various aspects of your quality of life, such as your ability to participate in meaningful occupations, or your social interactions, and in fact your overall well-being. In a nutshell, you're likely to not properly enjoy yourself and have a satisfying social life. So how can we address the issue of body dissatisfaction in our societies? I think that we should start by promoting body positivity, and it involves celebrating diverse body shapes, sizes, and appearance, and challenging unrealistic beauty standards. If we embrace and accept all bodies, regardless of their conformity to societal ideals, we can stimulate a culture of inclusivity and self-acceptance. We also need more critical thinking education. Educating individuals about the ways in which media images are manipulated and airbrushed can help cultivate critical thinking skills and then reduce the impact of media influences on body dissatisfaction. I really believe that by encouraging media literacy, we can develop a more discerning perspective and resist making unrealistic beauty ideals our own. I know there is, quite a long way before we get there, but I feel like things are changing, and slowly we're getting there, very slowly. We should practice self-compassion, and it involves treating oneself with kindness, with understanding and acceptance, particularly in moments of distress or self-criticism. Developing self-compassion can help us cultivate a more positive relationship with our bodies and reduce feelings of dissatisfaction and inadequacy. And then, of course, there is therapy. Some therapeutic approaches such as cognitive behavioral therapy, also called CBT, and body image-focused psychotherapy can help you address underlying psychological factors contributing to body dissatisfaction. A therapist can assist you in challenging negative thought patterns, developing coping strategies, and improving your body image. But it takes time. It's not something that you can resolve in a few sessions. If it's been in you for like years and years, sometimes from your childhood, it will take some time. It can take some time, but I totally believe it's worth it. It's worth it because some of you are in such pain most of the day, most of the weeks, most of the years. I'm not laughing. I'm just sometimes feeling sad when I think about so much pain. I strongly believe that building supportive communities and advocating for policies that promote body diversity and inclusivity can help combat body dissatisfaction on a societal level. By creating spaces that prioritize acceptance and respect of all bodies, we can work towards a more inclusive and equitable society. As we've seen, body dissatisfaction is a complex and common issue that has profound consequences for the psychological, physical, and social well-being of the people who suffer from it. By understanding the causes and consequences of body dissatisfaction and putting in place effective strategies for prevention and intervention, we can move towards promoting body positive image and improving overall quality of life for individuals of all shapes, sizes, and appearances. We should create a world where every body is celebrated, respected, and valued. I know that we are far from it right now, but as I said, I have the feeling that things are changing. Slowly, too slowly probably. I know that many parents feel lost when they want to help their child who is unhappy with the way she or he looks. And especially if their child is being bullied at school, for example. These are things that should be addressed promptly so that they don't persist over time and end up in years of unhappiness. It's something I have experienced myself. I know that I was very unhappy with my body image when I was 30 kilos heavier than I am now, and I was thinking I would be so much happier when I will be slim, or when I will have lost most of the extra weight or all the extra weight. And in fact, that wasn't really the case. It's like, even though I was being seen as someone slim or in good shape, and everybody was complimenting me, I was still not happy with my body image. And it took me some therapy to get there, to think, hey, you're okay. You look okay. And of course, I don't have a perfect body, and I don't even know what a perfect body means, in fact. I've never seen any. Anyway, it took me a long time. Even after I had lost the weight, it took me a long time to be okay with my appearance. And I see it with some of my clients. I've seen it with many of my clients, in fact. When I'm working with them, I want to make sure that, yes, they start eating more healthily. For many of them, it's eating less and eating better quality food, doing some exercise, of course, all these things, having a proper sleep, things that we know, in fact. But I want them to be okay with who they are even before they've lost the weight, and think, hey, it's me. I'm this. That's the body I have. This body is part of me. It's not separated from my mind. I'm just one entity, and I'm okay with who I am. Now, for health reasons, I want to lose weight because I know that I will feel better. And then when I will have lost the weight, there will be another bonus, like I will move more easily. I will wear the clothes that I really want to wear. I won't have to hide my body anymore. But first of all, is making peace with who you are. I really think it's important before starting a diet, if that's what you've decided to do. And although you know my views on diets, or before you start reconsidering, and having, a good look at the reasons for you to put on weight, it's make peace with who you are, because otherwise you're fighting against yourself and you will always lose. So first, making peace, thinking, okay, I am the way I am. I'm going to improve some things, but this is me. This body is me as well as my mind, and it's not two separated things. So I'm going to respect who I am. I'm going to respect my body, and I'm going to give myself a break. And then I'll see, what I want to do and how I want to manage my weight loss if I see that it's something that needs to be tackled. I've also had clients who came to see me, and it was obvious they didn't have to lose any weight. And if I would tell them, why are you here? You're telling me you want to lose 10 kilos, but it doesn't seem like you need to lose any weight. They would go away because that's not what they would want to hear. So it's about, if they think they need to lose that weight, it means something very deeply rooted is bothering them. It means something very deeply rooted is making them suffer. And that's what we will tackle. And then they will realize by themselves that, in fact, they're fine the way they are. So anyway, I find this a fascinating subject. I hope this can help some of you. I hope this can open open your eyes on certain things. And as always, I'm happy when you're sending me some feedback and some comments. It's always very interesting for me. Thank you.